Good morning, everybody, and welcome once again to Empowering Morning Conversations. And I've been reflecting on what we have done in the last couple of days. Remember, I did conflict strategies with you. And whatever is your conflict behavior has consequences in your life. So that's one thing to remember. Second thing to remember is brain number 1, brain number 2, brain number 3. What is the most potent part of your brain is brain number 3, the thinking, rational, forward thinking brain, which looks at possibilities, which is not scared of uncertainty. Yeah. But most of the time, हम अपने साथ क्या कर रहे हैं? डर की राजनीति. We are shit scared, right? So we are operating from brain number 1, which is reactive brain, always in the protective mode, and the midbrain, which is always in is it safe, comparison, pattern forming, habit forming brain. And when that is mostly active, this brain doesn't get a chance to work. Now, as you might have seen that most of the time when you're in a conflict situation, like most people, they are turtle, shark, teddy bear, fox. Okay? And when you're in that mode, it is only your brain number 1 or 2 which is active. An owl is a person whose brain number 3 is more active. So having said that, we talked about what happens when you raise your consciousness. So what happens when you raise your spiritual quotient? It's very, very connected. People who are working on themselves like you are and like I am, I believe you are also working on it because you're coming to the EMC. So when you raise the level of your consciousness, and there are many different tools to do that, you will find that you are rising above this brain number 1 and brain number 2. Okay? You're rising above and ultimately reaching a point where we can say you are enlightened or whatever, but you are more at peace. You're not reactive. You're doing things out of choice. The element of connection with the universe is very strong. You are getting more and more open to receiving the bounty of the universe, etc., etc. Okay? Now, having said that, we have to live a life where we are going to meet all sorts of situations. We don't have much control over it, do we? So when we cannot control the situation, the only person we can take control of is who? Us. We can choose to respond instead of reacting. We can choose to be in allowance instead of always judging, comparing, right, wrong, good, bad, concluding and all that. Right? As you raise your level of consciousness. When your awareness is more, you're looking at people also, you're more present at them, with them. You are so much in sync with them. You're so much in oneness with them that it's easier to interact with them. Okay? So you have more choice in every moment of your life. Now, can you say that, of course, the number of conflicts in that situation will be reduced? Okay? Why does conflict happen when you react? If somebody is being harsh with you, you don't react, 90% of the conflict is over there and then. If somebody is, scowling at you and shouting at you, and you can recreate that without reacting. Recreate means feel his anger. And the moment you allow yourself to feel that person's anger, his anger will start disappearing. Because he's getting angry because he wants you to feel his anger. What do we do normally? We are rebutting it. We are pushing it back. I don't want your anger. Okay? Am I making sense to you? If I am, then I'd like one or two of you to say something about what I've been saying for a little while now. How about that? So it's for me a fact check to see whether I'm getting through to you or not. I mean, it's the same message going to you that I'm giving. Tick, tick one, tick, tick two, tick, tick three. Yes, sir. Reddy Garu.
Good morning.
Me?
I always have a choice, but I never choose that.
I wonder why you wouldn't choose it if you have a choice. It's not completely true, no, Reddy Garu. Sometimes you choose, sometimes you don't. What do you think?
Yes, true, sir, true.
No? So the point is, when you don't choose, think about, I mean, where is your brain operating from at that time? You want to make a choice and you don't choose.
Sir.
What is not allowing you to choose at that moment will be your this great brain number two.
Yes, sir, true.
Now, brain number two always thinking, should I do? Will it go wrong? If it goes wrong, what will happen? Sometimes, the loss isn't much.
True.
But we operate from that fear of loss. I'll lose money, I will lose face, I will look like a fool. People will say I made a wrong decision, blah, 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 blah. That becomes more important than making a choice. For some reason, it has been drilled into us, that we cannot make a mistake. It's funny, isn't it? A child only learns by making mistake.
Yes, sir.
A child learns how to walk by falling many times. But from the childhood, they're telling, no, should not make a mistake. Mistake is embarrassing. You don't even know what embarrassing means at that age. But then you realize, oh, this is embarrassing. So I should feel embarrassed. Even how we feel is programmed, no?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yes, Captain Saab.
No, I was just trying to tell you, sir, what you were discussing. Mainly on when you are operating from awareness, you getting more closer towards consciousness and towards oneness, and you're being more open to receive and connect with the higher consciousness.
Yeah, it's the other way around, by the way. When you start raising your consciousness, your reaction and resistance and all that goes down. You are more at peace, you are more present like that. Same thing, but keep the point, right?
Yeah.
And anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, thank you. Yes, Vetri.
Sir, you mentioned about raising the spiritual quotient will help us to become more present and more mindful and more sync with the environment. I would like to add one more point from my understanding. This also attracts all the good things towards us. Some of the experiences, some of the people who are coming, they're from totally from other circle, but they get into our horizon because we raise our spiritual consciousness. It's from my experience. Thank you very much.
Absolutely and completely true. See, we only attract all the situations in our life, right? So if you are operating out of fear, what do you think you'll be attracting in your life? Situations that will make you fearful, right? If you're operating out of worry, what will you attract? Beautiful point. Thank you so much, Vetrivel. So let's move forward. See, so we all understand that out of the 5 conflict strategies which we should use, the 5th one is always the best one. Why? Because the owl never gives up on his goal. An owl is not a pushover. You cannot intimidate him easily. And if you are thinking that he's a soft person, he's not. He's a tough person. He's not aggressive. Does not mean he's not tough. Okay? He's mentally very tough. Right? He's very fair and just person. He's a person not only thinking about himself. He's a person who realizes that we live in an interdependent world. Right? I'm interdependent on my staff as much as they are interdependent on me. They depend on me to get their salary. I depend on them to do their work. So we are interdependent on everybody. Even your dudwala who brings milk to your house, you are interdependent on him. He gets paid. He earns some money so he can live his life because you pay him. But you get the milk in your house, don't you? You're dependent even on the electrician or whoever. I don't have to spell it out. So an owl is a person who honors the interdependence. He says, hey, listen, if I only think about myself. Now you must have met some people who want to do business with you, but they want to not let you earn a profit. But they will squeeze you to the bare minimum. You know? Now, are they honoring the interdependence?
Yes.
They are not. If they are squeezing you to earn the bare minimum, what kind of service will you be able to give to that client and for how long? If the fellow doesn't realize that if you are not healthy as a company or a person, right? How can you be of service to anybody? So an owl will be willing to give a fair amount of profit to somebody who is serving him. Shark will squeeze you to the bone. He may even force you to supply at cost. Or he may tell you, you know, my second son, he does a lot of work for celebrities. So one of the very big celebrities invited him. I mean, he's done it for so many of them. I can name them. Deepika Padukone. What is the other one? So many. All the big ones. So anyway, one of the big ones, mother called him, okay, my son's wedding is there. I want you to do the music, this and that. So when they started talking about the price, she said, hey, you should do it for free. It's your privilege. You will get a big name out of it. So my son said, thank you, madam. I don't do things for free. And he walked away from there. So when we were reflecting, I said, you should have taken it. He said, why? I've got enough celebrities here. He says, what was upsetting me was the attitude. It was not a win-win attitude. Follow? So an owl has a win-win attitude. Okay, listen, give me the best price. I want you to earn also. Nobody is working for charity. You get it? So owl thinks like that. He says, you win, I will also win. And we'll have a great relationship also. On the other hand, he tells me that when he was doing work for Amitabh Bachchan, he stayed in his house for 7 days. Okay. And that's my son Gaurav. Okay. And he says that man is so polite and he's so humble. So when we were talking about the pricing, that man told my son, he says, you tell me what is the price that you would charge. Normally, I will pay you that. And he says that fellow didn't even blink. He didn't negotiate. He did not haggle, nothing. And he says, most of these guys will delay payments. You have to chase them out to get money out of them here. He said the day the work was over, he came and said, okay, how much amount is due to you? Immediately he paid the money. See, that's how owl does things. He's always thinking, listen, my action, will it inconvenience you? Will it convenience you? Okay, it is called inclusive thinking. It's not only I'm thinking about myself. I'm thinking about the other guy also who is in an interdependent relationship with me. Now, such a person, let's see how much you can think on this. What kind of qualities do you think this owl would have? I've given you some of them. Can any of you enumerate some other qualities that such a person would have developed over a course of time?
They create better relationship.
Okay, very good. Yes, Tanmay?
So the owl will focus on mutual benefit and problem solving for both the parties, not just himself.
Okay, what other qualities, personal qualities would he have? That's very good point. Yes, Colonel Saab, Babu,
Sir, good morning, sir. Sir, empathy, sir.
empathy. Okay, very good. Reddy Garu,
Sir, he is open to receive and always look forward for win-win situation. How both can win at the same situation, sir.
yeah, positive outcome for both parties involved. My wife, who's a silent spectator here, she said just now, discipline. He will have discipline. Yes, Captain Saab,
You'll have respect for others, sir.
have regard and respect for others. Very good. Thank you. Yes, Tanmay, you have another point.
So quality, I would say integrity of character.
Integrity of character, which would make him be a respected person.
Yeah.
Right. Suresh Kumarji,
Sir, good morning, sir. Good morning, all. Sir, he will strictly follow that intimate, what you said earlier.
Five elements.
Honor, trust, allowance, gratitude, vulnerability with every person that he interacts with.
Yeah, honor, trust, allowance, gratitude, vulnerability. Beautiful. And Vetri,
Sir, he also becomes very reachable and available for everyone.
he becomes reachable and available to the extent possible. Yes, Colonel Babu,
Visionary, sir. He will be able to see the future from the current, sir. His actions, what it will lead to, maybe.
yeah, he's aware of what the consequences are likely to be.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
he's a strong believer in as you give, so shall you receive. ऐसा करोगे वैसा भरोगे. You know?
And they'll hardly react, they'll only respond.
Exactly. So they are very patient. They have inculcated the habit of patience. Very, very patient. Are they aggressive or assertive?
Assert.
Exactly. So they are patient, and everybody forgot to mention one thing. You know what is that? They're very good, respectful listeners. See, without being an excellent listener, and not only have you got to be a effective listener, you also have to give evidence to the person who is speaking that you are actually listening to him or her, especially her. Right? Not only that, you have to reflect back the emotions. You have to let them, so that empathy, somebody said, if you've got empathy, it's not enough to have empathy. You got to let the other person know that you're getting what they feel. When somebody knows that you know what they feel, then they feel that you have empathy for them. Okay, Captain.
Sir, towards the end, not now, towards the end, I want 3 minutes. Yesterday, I came across a very interesting point of view, I would say. I saw a video, I'll discuss about it towards the end of this, about silence.
About what? Thailand.
Silence, silence.
Silence.
Silence. They say there are 9 types of silence. So I'll
That's
explain
very,
towards
very
the end of
interesting. Why don't you do a full session on it tomorrow?
I can,
Yeah?
yes.
Because it's very, very relevant and very much apt. Unless you have some silence here, you cannot listen to what the other fellow is saying. And another thing, I thank you for that, Captain Saab. One more thing about listening, you'll have to keep on distinguishing between, are you listening to what that fellow is saying,
Not to respond.
or are you listening to your own interpretation of what that other person is saying? See, when somebody is talking, you are saying to yourself something about what that other person is saying. You're not listening to that person completely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like Captain Saab said, unless this fellow is silent, when he's silent, he stops giving his own meaning to what other person is saying. He's listening to what the other person is saying. He's not comparing what he already knows with what is being said. You get it? If you are always comparing what you already know with what is being said, you will never get what is being said. It might look similar to what you know. Okay, so this person who strives to be an owl, he has spent a lot of effort and energy to master the art of listening. And on the flip side, he has spent some time in speaking with clarity also. Because once you become a good listener, you will realize how difficult it is to listen to some people who talk very loosely. Yeah. So this owl is aware that when I speak, I better speak in a way that is easy and clear for the other person to comprehend. Yeah. And such a person always checks for understanding. You know, I've said something. How do I know whether it has landed the way I wanted it to land? You check it and see 90% of the time it never lands the way you want it.
Yeah.
You're trying to say something, they are understanding something else. Right? First of all, because they are not listening. So a good listener realizes how difficult it is for people to listen. So he tries to make it easy for them to hear him. Okay. So it works that way also. Now, another thing, remember, an owl is an owl in all situations. See, everybody in a normal situation, when there is no problem, there is no conflict, he can be very nice and be an owl, use his rational brain and all that. The challenge is that in a crisis situation or in a conflict situation or a situation which is difficult, a totally different way of handling a conversation comes up. Okay. So this person, the owl, realizes one thing, that he's also an influencer. Okay. He also realizes that people attach a lot of importance to what they are saying. No? When you are with people, they are more interested in what they want to say. They are a little less interested in what you want to say. And if you want to find that out, go to a Rotary Club meeting or you go to a BNI meeting, you'll find that everybody is only interested in what they are saying. They are not much interested in what you are saying. Okay. Anybody, I mean, Captain Saab must be going to a lot of meetings and all, right? Haven't you seen that? People are more interested in what they want to say and little less interested in what you want to say anyhow.
Yeah,
So-
but this is all part of that silence, what I told you, sir. That out of the 9 part silence, this is one of the people. As they say, sir, whenever you talk, right, you are only going to talk what you already know. Only when you are silent, you are going to learn something, isn't it? When you talk, it's only from your brain which you already learned will come out. There is no scope for learning when you talk. But when you listen, you can learn something from other person's talk.
that is the point. And see, so the owl is very, very cognizant of that. He knows that. Okay. He also knows that when there is a conflict situation or when there is a disagreement, all this becomes even more acute and pronounced. Because, see, when people become more emotional, they might be angry, irritated, they might be on the defensive or whatever it's happening. So, what do you do? So, this owl has learned and mastered the art of handling what we call as crucial conversations. He's mastered the art of difficult conversations. Because you need to have those conversations, especially when there is a conflict, and especially the kind of conflict that you and I would face. See, we don't have a conflict that you have to take out your gun or your sword and go fight with people. That's not. Right? We have these little, what we call conflicts is usually disagreements. Strong disagreement might lead to a lot of, anger and resentment that you carry over the years and so on. Yes, Suresh ji.
So, on 8th of July, during your class on where your energy is going, you ended the session saying that, remind me, I will take a session on holding difficult conversations. So I just wanted to remind you, sir.
That's right. I'm leading it towards that. So
Thank you, sir.
once you decide that you wish to be an owl, right? Once you decide that you'd have rather have respect than people being afraid of you, when you realize that dominating and pushing people can produce results to a certain extent, right? Then you will be interested in learning the art of handling difficult or crucial conversations. And I don't intend to do that today. Today, I want to focus on the qualities you will have to develop if you wish to be an owl. See, one more thing. The owl has invested time and energy in making sure that he can believe in himself. So when I say believe in yourself, what does it mean? A person who believes in himself or herself, what kind of a person is that? Like, what does it mean believing in yourself? Yes, sir.
So it's about, he will be a vulnerable person, sir. He will have confidence that things will fall in place or people will not take him for granted.
Yeah, he believes in himself. He believes in his power or whatever it is. Yeah, good. Thanks. Yes, Vetri.
Sir, same thing you already told it. He believes in his power and also he believes in his intention.
Yeah. See, and also please don't forget, some of you may not know this, but I've been saying it quite often. The way you see yourself is the way you treat yourself. And the way you treat yourself is the way you treat others. And the way you treat others is the way they treat you also. So if you believe in yourself, you will believe in the other person also, no? Believe in. Yes, sir, Reddy Garu.
No, that is not true with me, sir.
Why?
I believe in myself, but I don't believe others.
You don't believe in others. No, believe others is one thing, believing in others is different.
Yes, sir.
It's like believing in your son because he's your son.
Yes,
Okay?
sir.
Believing in your daughter because she's your daughter.
Yeah.
You may or may not believe what they're saying. That's a different thing. Is somebody telling me the truth? Do I believe that? That's different from believing in the person.
Okay.
Believing in the intent of the person.
Okay.
See, one of the facts of life, very scientifically studied till now, is what is known as the Pygmalion effect. What is Pygmalion? You know the story of Pygmalion? Let me tell you that. Very, very interesting story. Pygmalion was a sculptor, okay? And he was making a statue, and he made a statue. And that statue was so beautiful that he fell in love with that statue. And he prayed to God. He says, God, please give life to the statue. And God gave life to the statue. Yeah. So his belief came true, right? It's called the Pygmalion effect. As you believe, so shall it be. If you think about someone that he's a crook, then he'll turn out to be a crook for sure. If you are operating with people, believing in someone means he's also able and capable until they prove otherwise. And even if they prove otherwise, you will still see them as one. Say, no, you are a wonderful, magnificent, extraordinary human being. What does it mean? I believe in you. I believe that you're a wonderful, magnificent, extraordinary human being. I believe that completely. And I also trust that you are a human being. You might make a mistake. That's fine. You're a human being. You might do something stupid from time to time. That's fine. But I believe that you are a wonderful, magnificent, wonderful human being because God does not create imperfection. And if that person is born from your seed, you don't create imperfection, Baba. They are your clones only. You getting it? That's what I mean by believing in people. So the owl believes in himself. And he has invested. See, a person who lies to himself, will he believe in himself? A person who lies to himself, will he believe in himself?
No.
A person who lies to others, will he believe in himself?
No.
A person who says one thing and he does something different from that, opposite. Yeah? Person who goes on telling the world, I am very honest, na khaunga, na khane dunga, that type of thing. But he does exactly opposite of that. Will he believe in himself? Forget about whether people believe in him or not. Will you believe in yourself? So if you don't believe in yourself, will you trust yourself? No. And if you don't trust yourself, you cannot be an owl. Because see, an owl is a person who people trust. If people don't trust you, they will not be willing to play a win-win game with you also. And that's very interesting thing about trust, Weak people cannot become owl. Because if a weak person says, hey, listen, you better play win-win with me. Yeah. So other fellow will say, okay, so what do you do if I don't play win-win with you? You bloody weakly. क्या करेगा तू? It's easier for USA to play win-win game. Because you don't play win-win with America, he'll tell you what will happen. So weak person or a person who's perceived as a weak person. That is why discipline is important, right? If you're a disciplined person, then people know that you're not a weak person. And they cannot mess around with you. So so that's why, it's difficult for a teddy bear to play win-win because he's not perceived as a strong person. In any case, he gives up his goals to preserve a relationship. Do you think a shark is a strong person? A person who needs to frighten everybody all around in order to succeed, does he think that he's a strong person or does he think he's a weak person? An assertive person, there was this Kung Fu Master movie that I was watching. And that fellow says that if you believe in your strength, you never have to show it off. You don't have to beat up people to prove that you're a strong person. Yes, Reddy Karu, you wanted to say something.
No, he's always a weak person, sir.
Who? That
Because to cover up that only, he will do all this.
So, see, whether first of all, he should believe he's a weak person or a strong person. Secondly, people should believe, no? See, as long as, so many of these sharks, what they do, they will use fear to intimidate everybody. So, correct. At some point of time, let me tell you, the teddy bears are the ones who get intimidated the most. Okay? And these teddy bears will tolerate and they will tolerate and they will tolerate and they will tolerate. Now, if you have tried to kill a rat in your house, you will see that when the rat is cornered, he will try to bite the stick with which you are hitting him. Okay? And because the teddy bears, they will then rise up and there will be revolution. Like, Russian Revolution happened. Why? Why did the French Revolution happen? Why did the Red Guard, there was a China Revolution also. What is it called? Cultural Revolution or something like that. So the shark doesn't realize this, right? As long as his intimidation tactics are working, he's doing fine. But there is a point when it won't work, right? So anyway, I could give you 100 examples of what happens to such people, but that's not relevant here. Because we would like to be, we don't want to be a shark, we want to be an owl. The difference between a shark and an owl is, shark does not care for the other person. He only cares for himself. For a shark, everybody is a dushman. Anybody who disagrees with him is an enemy. Right? For a owl, everybody has a potential to be a collaborator. See, for a shark, everybody is a competitor. And he feels everybody is trying to pull me down. For an owl, everybody is a collaborator. Because the owl says, okay, let's work together and find a solution that is good for everybody. An owl believes in having a dialogue with people. He does not feel, that you have to do like this. So today's session was for you to start reflecting on what do you think you have to do that would allow you to live your life like an owl. Okay. You will be very, very fascinated to know how many and how much more contribution you will start to make every day in your own family, your organization, or any organizations that you're connected with. The moment you start operating, see, saying I'll be an owl is one thing, but when you actually start working on all the elements which will make you an owl, you will really become an owl. You'll change the way that people are perceiving you. Okay, so that's that for today. And then tomorrow, I think, is the day we'll start working on crucial conversations. It's not going to happen in one day. Yeah, we can deep dive it, or I can just tell you superficially. Everybody will nod their head and say, yes, yes, sir, very good idea, but you will not do it. See, what we are doing here in the EMC is to do deep dive. We do little, but we do it in depth. Okay, so that it has a lasting impact on you. And I'm very clear that when an impact is made on one person, that impact is made on maybe 10,000 people, maybe more. Because directly or indirectly, you are influencing many people's lives. So if Reddy Garu has got 100 people working for him, 100 families are impacted by his actions. If you multiply that by 3, how much is that? I mean, of course, families are bigger than that. But if you even multiply by 3, and I always say, and believe me when I say this, energetically, we are connected with 250,000 people. And if you read Dr. David Hawkins' book, you will also realize that when you raise your consciousness, along with you, so many other people's consciousness also starts getting raised. Yeah, because he called something called an M field, which gets impacted and this and that. All right, so that's it. That's what I wanted to say, guys. And what I want to leave you with, of course, we will have Shairi from our wonderful people. But what I want to leave you with today is that tonight, when you are going to go to bed and you're reflecting on the day, what should have happened that will make you feel happy? So you're thinking back and saying, wow, I'm very happy today I accomplished this. What should that be? All right, over to you, Hasina ji.
ओके, तेरे आने से कुछ नहीं बदला, रात भी आई और चांद भी था, सांस भी सांस भी वैसी ही चलती है हमेशा की तरह, आंख वैसी ही झपकती है हमेशा की तरह, थोड़ी सी भीगी रहती है और कुछ नहीं बदला।
थोड़ी सी गीली रहती है आंख और कुछ नहीं बदला. वाह वाह वाह, fantastic. You are always choosing some very good gems to share with us.
थैंक यू.
Well, Babu, which gem are you going to share with us? Amisha, nice to see you today with us. I hope your husband is all right now. Namaste, Amisha. How are you?
Yes, sir, I'm fine, and he's also good.
He's back home?
Yeah, he's back home.
Chalo, very good. Then you should be a little sounding more happy. Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, Kamat Saab, go ahead. What is it you wanted to say? You also got shairi for us?
Power of generation.
We'll do that. I remember it. Every time I see your face,
Yes.
I remember that I have to do that. We'll do it at the end. Let's listen to
Yes.
Colonel Babu's shairi.
Babu. I didn't see Babu.
Babu disappeared, huh? Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Now, Venkatesh said power of generation. So let me tell you something about that. The world is always influencing you through your feelings. Okay? Circumstances are influencing you through your feelings. So mostly what kind of feelings are coming because of the influence of others? I mean, the world is not influencing you every morning and say, hey, be happy, no? So we use a power that we have within ourselves, and the power is that we have the power to generate whatever feeling we want. So obviously, what feeling would you like to generate? Happiness, no? So now when I say 1, 2, 3, we will all laugh 100%.
Yeah.
And if you've got other people around you, you can do that silently also. 1, 2, 3, go. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. And I will see you tomorrow morning for another interesting and useful, empowering morning conversation. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir.